This is everything you need to do to go from being a solo coach to being a 6 and even 7-figure founder. So first of all, if we take a look at what the solo coach does, they're probably doing the marketing themselves, they're doing the sales, creating landing pages, doing the copywriting, maybe running ads, handling fulfillment, creating content, etc., etc. So essentially, they're wearing a bunch of different hats in the business, doing everything themselves. And that's why they're stuck at 20, 30, 40K a month. Versus if we look at the guy who's making 6 figures or even 7 figures a month with their business, they are only focused on creating content. Now, why do they do that, first of all? Well, leverage. They're focusing on the only thing that they can do themselves, outsourcing everything else. Therefore, they can make way more money. So if you want to go from being a solo coach to being a multi-6-figure, even 7-figure founder, you need to be able to outsource pretty much everything that can be outsourced and focus only on the things that you can do. So obviously, if you want to do that, the first thing is hiring, making very, very key hires. First one, if you don't have one already, is a video editor. You can either pay them a base per month or on per video basis for like every reel they edit or every long form video they make. This can save you anywhere from like 10 to 20 hours a week, if not more. And the editor is probably going to be better than you are. So the quality of your videos are going to be better, which means it's probably going to get more traction. The next very key hire to make is a virtual assistant. Now, you can pay them a basic salary every single month, part-time or full-time, which would typically range between $3 and $10 an hour, depending on what you need them to do. There are some more specialized VAs. If you need someone that's like specifically in your niche, you might pay a higher amount. If it's more general, it might be lower. Now, honestly, the time-saving capabilities of this is endless. You can have them create a Miro board like this. You can have them check your emails and tell you what's important. They can schedule dates, schedule meetings, even things in your personal life. If you want to take a girl on a date, you can tell your VA to book you a place in this city and send you the reservations or whatnot. The goal of the VA is to take as much of the little mental load off of you so that you can focus on the bigger decisions. So if the VA is doing pretty much everything that you have to do, there are like little tasks, maybe checking in, maybe following up with someone, etc., etc. If you can outsource that to a VA, it gets you a lot of mental capacity back to use on something more useful. Next up is an appointment setter. So commission-based, typically 5%. And the reason this is an absolute no-brainer to hire is because, first of all, you're going to have more leads because your setter can actually go ahead and do outbound for you if you're not doing it already. And they're actually better at you at the sales process. This is what they do. This is their skill. So they're going to have a better booking rate. And because they don't have a bunch of other things to focus on, they're going to contact more leads. So now you're going to get more leads being booked into your calendar. So those are the 3 first basic hires. Realistically, you can get to like 100K a month with only using these 3. But if you want to scale to multi-6 figures and even 7 figures, you need to take it a step further. Why closer here is in a different color. Typically, you pay them 10% commission, and the trade-off is you're not the one taking the closing call anymore, so there's less authority there, but also the closer probably has better skills than you in sales, so they're going to close at a higher percentage as well. And again, because they're not focused on a bunch of other things in the business, they can follow up with leads specifically, keep track of that perfectly without having to worry about creating content and landing pages and this and that. So what do you spend your newfound time on? Well, creating content, which is going to lead to more leads, which is going to lead to more sales calls, which is going to lead to more cash in your business, and then obviously more fulfillment, which I'll get into. Now, the problem with that is you are now creating so much content, you're getting so many leads, that you have so many sales calls and so much fulfillment that you have to do for people that you are once again running out of time. So if you want to take the next step, you then have to make another few key hires. This is typically where you'd hire like a sales manager, typically on like 3 to 8% commission, who runs the entire sales team. You now no longer have to worry about hiring setters, hiring closers, making sure everything's in order. They're keeping track with follow-ups, tracking payments and stuff coming in. You no longer have to worry about that. You hire a sales manager. The next thing is a marketing officer of sorts. So typically you pay them a monthly retainer. They plan your organic content. They have experience with running paid ads to get more leads. They'll probably do some of the copywriting, maybe some of the landing pages, etc. And then outsourcing the fulfillment part to customer success managers and coaches. Again, you pay them a retainer and they handle the one-on-one students. So if we go back to the original, you have now fully outsourced the sales, you fully outsourced the marketing, you fully outsourced fulfillment, copywriting, landing pages. All you focus on is creating content because that is the only part that you have to do. No one else can sit there and have your face on them and create the video, at least not yet. AI isn't advanced enough. So you want to outsource everything that isn't the main thing, so you can just film content, get more and more leads, which is going to lead to more sales calls and more fulfillment, but all of that is outsourced. So you're not the one dealing with the extra leads, you're not the one dealing with the sales calls, you're not the one dealing with the fulfillment. You're creating content to get more leads, which means more money for the company. Now, obviously, you want to have really, really good fulfillment. So this is a lengthy process to go about hiring coaches, hiring CSMs, making sure fulfillment is dialed in regardless. But once you can outsource all these things and just focus on filming content, that is going to be the key to getting to $1 million a month. The recurring theme here is specialization. You want someone specifically in that field doing the thing. You want a appointment setter who's focused on being an appointment setter. You want a closer who's focused on being a closer. You want a sales manager who's focused on being a sales manager. You want yourself, being the influencer, to be an influencer, not a coach and an appointment setter and a manager. You want to focus on one thing, because if you can specialize in that, outsource everything else to other people who are specialized in those fields, you can actually take your business to 6 and 7 figures a month. Now, that was a very quick breakdown of how to go from 20, 30K a month to over 6 figures a month. If you want these systems implemented for your business, book a call with me. Link is in the description. We'll do a full free audit of your current brand, pricing, landing pages, etc. So book a call. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.